invention. What a time saver. Well, as I'm doing the household chores, having just come home, after yesterday's bare minimum scraping by, doing a little bit of writing for about half an hour, I think I should get a little bit more of a concerted effort in tonight. Unfortunately, as fate would have it, look at the beautiful weather outside. Just makes you feel guilty about working on your comic books in your spare time. On this day 44 of my 100 days of making comics, round 2. So I have somewhat of a monologue to work out for Anne, one of the characters, because I'm trying to mix it up. And then I'm also, as I'm filling out the rectangles, I'm gonna start filling out some pretty cliched balloons, fill them up with dialogue, just so that I have them and can let them. I don't know if people do this. I don't know if this sound is really annoying for you. But one of the things that one of the approaches I like to working on writing is, first I just have to get it out of my mind, right? I just have to get this, like anything, just on the paper, because sometimes you just end up staring and that's not good. So I just get something out and then I just kind of let it percolate in my mind while I sleep and when I go to work, and stuff just comes out, you know, like a better sentence to say, a better way of saying something, or like just new ideas, like, but it just kind of has to, you know, gestate or germinate or whatever the word is. I'm not a thesaurus. So yeah, I better get some dialogue going today. But so this like yesterday, like I mentioned yesterday, some of my friends showed up. So trying to be nice and trying to be a good host, I spent some of the last of my money because I am so broke right now. Like it's literally like the last couple of days before payday, and I'm like, and so I spent some of my last money on making sure I could be a good host and cook some food and have a couple of beers, and then just none of them wanted to eat. So now it looks like I'll be eating pasta with bacon and cherry tomatoes for the rest of the week. And it's delicious. Like, these guys do not know what they're missing out on. It's freaking delicious. But I think I just overate. So time for a little coffee to get that spark back up. Or maybe I should lie down for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So let's see what happens, huh? So just a little heads up in case you're new to this channel. My name is Jan. Every day I work on my personal little comic book project for at least half an hour a day. It's called Phosphor. It's a science fiction adventure in which a group of scavengers, if you will, on some kind of sci-fi vehicle setting, are looking to hit the big time, looking for loot, and it's all the going-ons on the ship and interactions between the crew until they ultimately stumble upon some sort of installation and find a monster, which leads them to their demise. What I end up doing, it is now 9:45 in the evening, was both. I both lie down and had a coffee and put the laptop on my lap, and I just started writing. And I think I got a good hour and a half in before some of the flatmates started getting home, and it was time to get the laundry out. And then after that, after we caught up with our going-ons, I wrote some more. So I am now at page 11. I've pretty much filled in the dialogue, not actually in the balloons, but like I've just been listing everything, like with names, text, or line. And I got up to page 11. And I also had a new little thought because I couldn't quite... The thing with the monologue I came up with yesterday so to switch it up, so to move from the corporate spies monologue at the start, which gives a nice little introduction that is not counter to what you see, but like, you know, it adds an extra layer and it introduces certain ideas. I thought it'd be fun to mix it up and give Anne the next monologue, and then instead of writing that monologue like I set out at the start of this day, I don't know, like it just popped in my head like this because I was looking at page 1. That's why. And she's waking people up, and I'm like, I have to come up with like something else to say besides rise and shine, good morning. You know? I have to say something that is in line with her character and like her role, like supervising and like trying to be tough because she's ambitious. And so I figured like the 3 mugs she has are like, there's only 3 of them, so the first 3 who can get their asses out of bed can have a hot cup of whatever it is they drink on the ship. And then also like a little bit of interaction with one of her best friends, with Amicia, so I can like start setting up that relationship that keeps coming back throughout the pages, and like the back and forth between them. So I couldn't quite come up with the monologue, and so because of that first page and that rise and shine, this little radio DJ character popped up like, good morning, it's this, blah blah blah, hope you're having a look at the sunshine, which they can't because they're, you know, in this godforsaken place on the sci-fi vehicle. But then like I know that somewhere in the future they're going to dock at a port, so just the name of the port just came up, like, which is in relation to the story and what it is they do out there. But then I thought like, but I can't put this in anywhere. Like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, this is a fun little paragraph I wrote as if this DJ is saying it, but I can't really use this. So I just continued and like just started going through the panel, the pages and the balloons, and like coming up with dialogue, like just obvious stuff, but also like things that just allude to what it is they're doing, and like clarify if the visuals aren't clear enough, like to just, you know, because I keep talking to you guys back and forth in these videos like what is happening, but it needs to be on the actual page. Like that is the main clue that I keep, the main rule, I should say, the main rule that I'm constantly thinking about writing this dialogue. And then I thought like, well, if I can't come up with this little monologue for the dialogue boxes for Anne to fill in, then that could be, I can get rid of them, and I instead could have the radio, if you will, like this radio program playing in the background, which is totally in sync with this factory setting that they work in, because that's how I remember working in factories. Like the radio is always on, there's always some DJ just spouting nonsense, you know? So it'd be a fun way to add a little extra flavor to the workplace and make it feel like a workplace that we can all relate to. So yeah, pretty productive, pretty good. Up to page 11, so that is almost at halfway for writing all the dialogue. I don't know if that's fast or slow, you tell me. You know, I think it was like 6:30 once I finally got started. So it is now 9:30. Yeah, so that's a decent amount of time, with a little bit of laundry and a little chat in between. So hope you guys are doing well. I was watching some of the 100 Days of Making Comics by my colleagues at the 100s, as we call ourselves, part of this group that does this little challenge that Kevin Cross of Monkey Mod fame set up all these years ago. Check out the Facebook page if you want to see other people's videos. I do have a playlist where every now and again I just add people's videos at random. So if you want to find out about other people's comic books, and there's some really awesome work out there, just check out the 100s playlist I have on this channel right here. So I was watching Josh Kimball on his day 47, driving his car. I was listening in on a really good episode of, I think, what is it, like 68 or 69 by Marshall, where he talks about his latest inspirations and like these little side projects that, you know, create this feedback loop that he's really excited about. That was a really fun video, so I totally recommend that one. And Chris McQuinlan talking about the logo and the branding and like the work he puts in, like the questions he has for all of us about the work we put in, you know, like branding the work that we're doing now so that we can expand it. And then when we do expand it, does the branding fit and, like, you know, work well with all of it across the board? That was kind of interesting. I don't think too much about that stuff right now. I do think of it from time to time, but I used to watch so many videos about that back in the past, and then I found that for the rung of the ladder that I'm at making my comics, I feel like I just need to keep my head down and just put in the hard work and get the pages out, because that is the most important thing. And once I have a comic book in my hand and I'm working on issue 2, then that is definitely something that, you know, needs to be put in order, because I'll be getting closer to actually putting out a comic book, you know. But right now, like when I'm just daydreaming, I try and stay in focus on just coming up with stuff that I can put on the pages. So yeah, hope you guys had fun watching this video. Thanks so much. Hit like, hit subscribe, stay tuned. There's more coming up. This is day 44, so that is 66 videos left on this round 2. So see you tomorrow.